Yo, what up, YouTube, Facebook? This is your boy, Weaponry Fitness. We are back with another live video on social media represents your brand. So if you are on social media, you represent yourself or the person you are connected to. So whatever your connections are, like your network, you represent a bigger brand than what is yourself. So there's a lot to get into on this, and I hope the audio is good. So, if you are on the replay, I apologize if the audio is bad, but should be good. Haven't had any problems lately. Um, as you can see, I'm wearing a nice outfit here, because I bought this outfit a little bit ago, uh, before I was actually in shape. So now I can actually fit into it because it's a large. The shirt underneath is a large. I bought it as a motivation to get my ass in shape. So it's not fitted, but I'm gonna start wearing fitted stuff because I actually have more of a taper now, so I don't have to wear wide body shit. But if you're just joining me, make sure you hit the like button. Go to YouTube, hit the like button. I am definitely going to talk about something that I don't think a lot of people realize. So like if you're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X, any kind of social media where your face is present, uh anything that you post on social media, you represent. So like for instance, if you're married, if you are a man posting, anything that you post as a man, uh well, you should be communicating a lot of stuff as far as like what you're doing, where you're going with your significant other. But I think it's a little bit more important with the woman. So, um, like if you're married to a man, um, you represent him. So you can tell a lot about a man on how your woman posts. So like if your woman's just posting like random ass shit, uh, it could say a lot about the man that she's with. So for instance, if she is posting ass pics. She's posting like half naked pics. That means she probably has a man that she doesn't respect, and furthermore, he probably doesn't respect himself or the relationship that he's in because he doesn't have boundaries. Um, Maybe that is a boundary. Maybe he doesn't care, but I'm just speaking for the vast majority of relationships that women are just doing to embarrass their man. I mean, maybe like you could just tell. You could just tell. So like if you like if a band posts pictures of his woman naked or like half naked or whatever, that's his choice. I mean, he's allowing it, so it's whatever. It's his business. So but you got to realize that people do judge. So this is what I hate about like people that I hear out in person, out on social media. Like you're gonna get judged. It doesn't. You can't just go around like walking like with a Cheeto stuck in your mouth or like when you're smoking, doing drugs and shit. Hey, don't judge me, don't judge me. Like people are gonna judge you because they have to. It's a it's basically a biological defense mechanism. Like if you see like a group of men walking down the street and you're a woman walking alone, you're gonna curve around. You're not gonna walk through that group. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a defense mechanism. They might be aggressive. And let's just say if they were all black, I have to use that because the crime rate in the black community is pretty high. So you can't get upset. Like when I walk down the street and I see a couple, and I'm walking down the street in baggy jeans, a torn up t-shirt, looking like a bum. I'm gonna look at them, and they're gonna look at me. They're gonna look a little bit cautious. It's like you really can't get upset with that because they're judging you based on your look. So now, if I were to walk down the street like this, um, and this is why I chose to wear for this podcast because it makes me look intelligent, makes me look like I have my shit together. And yeah, you have to judge me. I mean, anybody knows that the difference between somebody who wears a suit and who wears a boot. Now, both can make a lot of money, so just depending on their background. Um, so got the judge. Yeah, so it's very important for couples. Like you gotta have you gotta have a you gotta be on the same page when it comes to posting on social media. Some men, respectable men, do not want their women on post or on social media. They don't want their kids on social media. But I think I would say about 10, 15 years ago, it was probably bad idea to put your kids on social media. But like nowadays, it's very normal. So, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that if I had children or if I had like nieces and nephews and stuff. I would post them on social media. I would like to share the stuff that I do with them. Um, but some people are still private, so that's really up to them. That's how they portray themselves. So a lot of people don't have social media. I don't look. This is gonna sound messed up, but I've always been like a heavy poster since Facebook and MySpace came out. I like to be really transparent on who I am. So if you're not, that's fine. But I think social media is good to keep in contact with people that you've known in the past. I wish there was like I joined the military in 2004. This is way before like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. I wish I had social media to keep up with my boot camp peoples because those were my brothers, man. We ran through the dirt. We had to really learn each other to get through boot camp. So I wish I had social media back then because I would have some brothers from another mother um, to exchange with. I hope they're all doing fine, or doing well. I know I hate to say this, but a couple of them didn't make it. Like they passed away pretty early, so it sucks, but we have to move on. Um, so let's see, posting children. Um, yeah, that's just So another thing with social media, don't post where you're at. A lot of times when I post, I'm usually leaving the spot that I've that I was at. So like if I say I'm going downtown Cleveland or something, um, I probably don't even post until I leave that place. Just depends. I try to be a little spontaneous with my posts as far as like the times and stuff. Cause you never know, man. Everybody that I know personally knows what I got. They even know where I live. So like if you know that I'm not at home, then you can come and rob my ass. But like I mean that would be a smart move because I would just come find you and I'll take my stuff back. So whatever. Um yeah, what are you gonna take my swords? She this sword right here, you can have that. I got plenty more, man. Just kidding. You're not taking that sword. So, let's see. We are at the almost 9-minute mark. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about the thumbnail I have. Hold on, let me pull that over real quick. So, I made this like I go into a lot of thought when I make my thumbnails. So, so I can pull this up real quick. I'm going to share my screen so I got something to look at while explaining myself because this is going to be a doozy. So, so I got some old pictures here of me bowling. This is if you could see this ghetto ass shirt right here this is when I started branding myself in bowling. So if you look at that, it says Pastor Johnson. That's a terrible it's not good. It's not that good. So this is when I first started branding myself. Now, you see the ball I'm using. I'm using the Insane Antics. That's my um that's the ball that I bowled the most honor scores with. And then here are a couple of bowling balls I had drilled up. As you can see, there are a lot of the same. And okay, so this is where I'm going to get into it. I got into bowling because of my parents. One day, I remember this too. I was 9 years old. when I got into bowling, we were at the bowling alley. They asked me if I wanted to bowl. They asked me and my brother if we wanted to bowl, and this was open play bowling. And I remember this to a T. I remember this like it happened yesterday. I was in the middle in the arcade playing basketball with my brother. You know the little things where you shoot? The machine was broken, so the gate wouldn't lift up and the balls kept coming through. So while my parents were bowling, I mean, we were all bowling. They were gonna have us open bowl, but they asked if we wanted to or not. But we were in the middle of shooting the basketballs, and we could have used that all night long because the machine was broke. We could have been shooting basketballs all night long. But I thought ahead. I was like, man, we're gonna eventually get bored of these basketball games. So I decided, hey, let's try this bowling thing out. So the first thing I did was like, "Hey, I'd rather just go bowl." This was my first time touching a bowling ball. I put my index finger and my middle finger and my thumb in one of those pre-fitted balls, and I just threw it down the lane. And I think that's when I fell in love with bowling because it was just I don't know, man. I think everybody had probably the same feeling of when they threw a bowling ball, and then um, basically I told them, "Hey," they put us in a league, and I noticed a progression every year that I bowled. Every single year I got better and better, all the way up until my 12th grade in high school. So my 12th grade was kind of a slump, but it was still not a bad year for someone in their senior year. Because my 11th grade year, actually I bowled my first 700 in ninth or in 10th grade. So I was about 15 years old. I bowled like a 735. And then my junior year, I broke the record, bowled a 798. Man, I was one spare away from my first 800 as a junior in high school. So as a senior, I had a fall off because my grades were slipping. I barely passed high school. So to keep that uh and I'm going somewhere with this is going to be a long story, so hold your horses. Um So I struggled my senior year with grades. English, I was failing math, failing English. I had to do a lot of stuff. This was the hardest year of my life as a teenager. And I'm going to just come out with this. This is really important for people to hear because I never talked to anybody about this. So I guess maybe it'll come back up when I get bigger. So I'm going to take that off the screen for a second. Um, Damn, I lost my train of thought. So in my senior, like I said, I was struggling in my senior year, and I didn't think I was gonna make it. I signed up for the military, and the only way to go into the military was to pass uh the 12th grade, and I was in the lowest mood or moment in my life. So I actually planned out my suicide, and this is gonna get crazy emotional, but I don't even know how I think bowling had a lot to do with this because I was struggling with bowling. So, bowling is kind of a bipolar sport. You're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days. You're probably gonna have more average days than anything. That's why they call it an average. So I was struggling so bad in high school, and I had a lot going on too. I had a part-time job. I was doing a lot. So this was the big test before I entered adulthood, before going into the military. So to keep the story short, I planned on doing something very, very regretful if I didn't pass high school. So once the end came, I graduated with I think it was a 2.9. It was very marginal. So my this is the thing about Catholic school. They gave me a chance. They gave me opportunities to do extra credit. Me and my dad got into it one day, and he yelled at me. and this it wasn't a good day. I think this happened my junior year, but like my senior year it wasn't too bad. Me and my dad was pretty we were on good terms for most of the year. But I managed because I had to get good grades to keep my job. I wanted to make that to $100 a week, but uh, and I mean to skip to it, man, I did pass. I got very lucky. I really applied myself. I wasn't the most studious person, and then I did bowl pretty decent my last year. So skip ahead to the military. I didn't bowl for the first like 4 years, 5 years until I got onto shore duty. Then I came back, bowled as an adult, got my first 300 um, after getting divorced, which makes kind of weird sense, but I'm skipping a lot ahead because I don't want to make this too long. Um, so, oh yeah, this is important too. After I got a divorce, we won't go too in detail with that. It happens. I joined about 6 leagues, so I was bowling 6 days a week, and I was actually making some money from that. Or was I? Because the leagues cost money. So I think I was subbing in some, and then um, I had bowled full time with that because some people had dropped out. So I bowled 6 days a week, got all the prize money from the end, and then um, what else? So that's how I got into uh, that's that's basically how I got into the bowling. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because um, I'm just gonna fast forward all the way to a couple years ago when I was dealing with some or I just want to say full on depression, man. You couldn't I don't think a lot of people knew what I was dealing with when it came to trying to manage my finances, my life situation, and bowling at the same time. It just didn't feel right. So um hopefully I can come swing back around this because this is supposed to be a podcast about social media brand, but I felt like I had to get this out. Uh, so um, the year before COVID hit, I did stop a little bit. I did quit, and then I came back before COVID hit. So once COVID hit, that's when I officially quit. So I quit bowling for 3 years, and my life got better. Like my money got better. My mentality got better. Everything about my life got better. I got in shape and I stayed in shape because throughout the entirety of my life, as far as like after 2017, because I kept dealing with weight fluctuations, like had a lot to do with depression too. Had a lot to do with because I was bowling really bad after having like 2 solid years of when I was actually making money in bowling. Um, At one time, I wanted to go professional, and then I hurt my back, and then that's really when it really uh when it took off, when the depression took off. So I was like, and I'm going somewhere with this too. So um yeah, I quit bowling for 3 years. Started the fitness brand, started the YouTube, or actually took the YouTube serious. I made a name for myself. So doing martial arts. Now, I've been doing martial arts, or I've been tumbling since I was 9. So that eventually turned into martial arts. So I've been doing bowling and martial arts I started roughly at the same time. And this is why I wanted to do this podcast. And this is why bowling is a big part of it, because I didn't want to be recognized as just a bowler. Because I am actually this is my perspective. I am actually a better martial artist than I am a bowler, and I don't think a lot of people, because I don't know too many. I grew up doing bowling for most of my social life. I didn't really do any kind of martial arts clubs. I didn't join dojos or anything like that. I just did martial arts on my own. So nobody knows who I am as far as martial arts goes. They only know me as a bowler. So I've been really trying aggressively. Hold on. I've been very aggressive with my fitness brand because that's just bowling isn't who I am now. So um there's so much there's so many more controllables of what I'm doing now than when I was a bowler. There was so many uncontrollables, and I won't go in depth on that because I'm pretty sure many people already know that as far as the bowling community goes. But the reason why I switched over is because there's more benefits um as far as mental health and physical growth. So I chose bowling because I thought I could do it for longer. The funny part is I could do martial arts longer than I can bowl, if that makes sense, because there's a mental aspect in it. I can't handle too many bad days in bowling, but I can handle more bad days in martial arts because I'm not actually competing. So that sounds kind of weakish to say, but I don't like I said a thousand times before, I don't do martial arts to compete. I do it for longevity. And that's the reason why I wanted to bowl is because I thought it was going to uh I wanted to do something long term. And that's the reason why I started bowling. But I was like, there's something wrong with this because I feel like I'm dying inside. And bowling was definitely the catalyst or would have been the catalyst for an early demise. And that's why I had to quit bowling. Um I had I just didn't have enough bad days. Anybody who's ever bowled with me, like on the team, you understand that I gave it my all. Now, from the outside looking in, people that I didn't talk to that much, people that I was competing against, you could see there was something wrong. There was very distraught look on my face every time I walked onto the lanes, and that wasn't the case for the most part. I didn't want people to think that. It's just I'm very competitive and I don't like to lose, which is a lot of people, but I took it to heart because I put so much into it. What people don't know is that I gave a lot to the game. When I was in Virginia, I worked as a pin spotter for 2 years. I worked in a pro shop for a good 7 to 8 months, and one time I ran my own tournament. Like that's absurd, man. Because someone like me just doesn't do that kind of stuff. But I decided to do something for uh, AMF Norfolk Lanes. I decided to run my own tournament. I actually had a pretty decent turnout for my first one. I'm surprised. Oh, as surprised as many teams showed up as they did. But I did a lot for the bowling community, and I didn't really get much ROI from putting so much into the sport because just so much bad happened to me, and um, so I switched over to martial arts is because I can help more people understand what I understand if they just do the work. Um, so actually, let me pull this picture back up. So this is what I learned about myself by switching brands. Because I was always that Columbia 300 brand, 900 global, and now I am a ninja. I've always been a ninja. So this right here is me at the beach, and both this is a real katana too. So I don't mess with that fake shit. Um, so this me at the beach. After I quit bowling, I was like, I love the beach. I didn't even know I liked the beach. So leaving bowling gave me an opportunity to explore who I was outside of bowling. So I learned a lot of different things. I learned that I like to travel, which is weird because I didn't like to travel before, unless it was for a bowling tournament. But now I like to travel for any kind of reason, not just like bowling or martial arts. I like to go different places now. I like beaches, and this really sucks because Virginia Beach, very it was very nice. I've been to Florida, and I didn't take advantage of the places that had beaches, so I'm kind of upset about that. But now, I don't have to be because I can just go whenever I want to, which is which is a very is a net positive me just going full swing on truck driving and stuff. So um yeah, that was long. I can't believe I went that long. I didn't expect to go that long on the whole bowling thing, but it is what it is. Yeah, another reason why I had to quit bowling is because I have collector's curse. So as you can see in that thumbnail, I had a bunch of bowling balls. You don't really need that many. I'm not like a top 1% bowler, so I was just messing around, trolling and shit. Like, hey, I got this many same ball of the same brand. This is it's not good. Financially, it bowling killed me. So financially, mentally. Let's see here. Yeah, it was hard to let go, but I did come back for a year, for a summer, and I bowled pretty good. That's weird. It just doesn't make any sense. I actually cashed in more tournaments than I did in the last 3 years. It's I can't explain that. Probably has a lot to do with because it was just fun to come back. Now, if I would have stuck with it, then I would go into that same. S- I mean, it's just you don't. In my experience, you don't get better. You just fall in a hole and then climb back up. You think you're getting better, but you're just coming from underneath. So I mean, if you've been bowling for 20 plus years and you're not on a pro tour, uh, competing with pros, you're not really getting better. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think if you're a bowler. Um, but yeah, my brand is martial arts fitness. So it's not martial arts, it's not MMA, it's not UFC, it's not WWE, it's mostly stunts and just basically growing with martial arts weapons because I like I like to learn like there's no ceiling when using these weapons. I have been doing this aggressively for the last 3 years, and I have not reached the ceiling. Even though I'm getting older, I feel like I'm learning more, and I feel like I'm just getting started too. So, so yeah. Another thing I wanted to go into was some of the things that people post on Instagram. They don't realize that it's hurting them in the net in the long term. Um, so I'll start with men first. So if you're a man and you're on like Instagram and you have like if you have 10,000 followers, man, you're like a celebrity, man. Like 10,000 followers as a man is golden. 10,000 followers as a woman is very normal. Like that's really nothing to scoff at. Um dude, I see some crazy profiles where like how the hell do you got that many followers? And a lot has to do with marketing too. Um yeah, I'll start with the man first. So if you're doing a brand as a man, you gotta be very convictive. You gotta be solid, very knowledgeable in what you're doing, and um you basically got to lead by example, because you got to show your work. So if you don't have any work to show, then you don't your brand is kind of weak. Um so it's kind of weird coming from me because I don't have a big name, not yet at least. Who knows if I'm gonna get big? I got other ways to grow as a person. So this is just me having fun. Hopefully, it grows into something else, to where I can reach a lot of people. But you, I think the biggest thing for a man is networking. You gotta walk into rooms where people are better than you, and that's one way you grow as a man. You definitely gotta come out of pocket a lot of times to get into those rooms. So that's kind of where I'm struggling at right now because I don't want to walk in the wrong room. I don't want to walk into just any room. And I've already tried reaching out to a lot of people and I've just been rejected. So like as a man, you're gonna get rejected a lot. Actually, it's weird because I've been rejected more than there are days in the year. So it's weird because every time somebody gives me a compliment, which is like not often, I'd be looking at them like, "Are you trolling?" Like it's like just try it. Like if you're a woman or a man, give a man a compliment. He's gonna look at you funny, like because he just does. You could tell they don't get you could tell we don't get compliments often is because it's really it's just unheard of. Like throwing a pie in somebody's face. Like what the hell? Where'd that come from? Like um you th- it's weird. It's not like a woman. Like if a woman gets a compliment, she's used to it. So she's kind of she's used to it. So it doesn't she's gonna smile and move on. It doesn't now if that compliment comes from somebody she's attracted to, now that is the game killer right there. So but we won't go into that. So um as a brand as a woman, um now this is very tricky. Men are easy, man. You got as a man, you provide value by what you can about what you can your value is the knowledge you spread or um the humans you can touch. So like basically you got to have something that somebody wants in life. Like money, um knowledge, obviously, families, girls, like I noticed that a lot of space that there are a lot of I mean dating coaches. Like I think that's I think dating coaches well we're not going to go into that, but anything that somebody can benefit from as a man, you better have your shit locked in because if you don't have anything, if you don't give, then people aren't going to tune into you. So um now as a woman, they don't have to give nothing. They ha- look, it's very easy for a woman to grow on social media. It doesn't matter if you're a sex worker or not. Like if you're a conservative woman who doesn't show their her sexuality off, you could still grow on social media. You can provide a service a like you could sell cookies. You could sell on Amazon actually. All you got to do is provide um what do you call it? A model. You can model your clothing. You don't have to dress like if you're selling clothes, you're selling conservative clothes, you can grow like that, just dress as a model, or you can get other people to do it. Now, like sex workers, like who do OnlyFans, like I can't tell you how many accounts on Instagram have started accounts where they are just AI and AI women who are controlled by men. Now, the men had figured it out. The men understand that the simp economy has grown, so they're creating these accounts that are AI. They're not real women, and they're making money off of it. How do you explain that? Um, so this is how I see it. If you're a woman on social media and you're showing your sexuality, you're basically telling everybody that you're a sex worker. You may not be doing any kind of solicit stuff behind the scenes, but like that's what we perceive you as. So you got to be careful with that. If you don't want people to think that you're a sex worker, if then just don't shake your ass on the internet. Um, don't be dancing. Like I think this TikTok generation has screwed up a lot of women, and they don't even realize it. Um, because respectable man isn't going to take you serious for long term commitment. I think a lot of women need to understand the difference between sexual attention and wife attention. Like that's just my take on that. Uh, but I think I covered most of it. I could definitely go on. I could definitely go more in depth on this. I did have videos to share, but I don't want to go past the 40-minute mark. I think I spent way too much time talking about bowling. But the takeaway is that you represent a brand. Uh, if you're like I said, if you're married and you have a good marriage, you represent your husband, and then your husband, if he is the leader of your relationship, um, he represents the company he's working with or the business he's running. So, uh, like again, I'll take it back. Uh, I started this. I started my YouTube channel uh, as a fitness. So there's there's a creator and there's a consumer. I'm more of a creator, and I don't really consume much of what I actually create. I consume other things that help me create, if that makes sense. So I'm a creator of I want people to understand that martial arts isn't just for fighting. You could get a lot of benefits from doing it. So that's my brand. Now there's other brands are similar to mine, but uh they they're basically branding other things that I don't do, like fighting, being competitive, selling a service or something like that. So I just started trying to get my service started, but I'm not gonna go I'm gonna be a little more aggressive as the months go by. So but yeah, that is what the hell? James Barber, you're saying what am I creating? I just said it. You fuck bag. I'm creating a martial arts community. Now, if you want to join my community, James Barber, get your ass over here in Ohio, and I'll put your ass in shape, cuz. So, um, yeah, I got my first comment. I got my first live comment. Thank you, James Barber, man. You get a star, you fucker. Okay, so damn it, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I was gonna end the stream. So yeah, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X. I think those are the main. Um, because I'm not on anything else besides like I just got rid of my TikTok because I don't want like if you have a TikTok, man, they got so much access to your phone. I don't want them looking at my shit. Be careful what you download. These apps, man, be getting into your stuff, man. You take screenshots of your bank account information, you're in trouble, man. They got your shit. Um, be careful what apps you download. Read the terms of service because they have access to a lot of information in your phone. Um, they know what you be looking at on Instagram. They know that James Barber is looking at naked pictures on Instagram. Stop going through my historicals, James Barber, you little fucker. Um, oh man, you're a funny dude. God damn it. I need to come down to Virginia so I can bowl you real quick, man. I'm rusty, but I'll still wax that ass. But anyway, that's about all I got. Um damn, I could I had a video to share, but I'll probably do another I'll do another segment on this another day. I spent way too much talking about bowling, but yeah, we're gonna end that there. Please hit the like button on the way out. Go to YouTube, go leave some comments and support my channel where fitness meets finance. And we try to create a family of degenerate martial artists. So let's go.